Hi, I'm Gwen and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple rotisserie style chicken and an incredible gut healing chicken soup. So easy. So this is a recipe we pretty much make weekly at our house because you transition it into this amazing chicken veggie soup so easily, and you have this fantastic amount of leftovers to make whatever you want with. So let's do this. So for today's recipe, you're gonna want a pressure cooker. You can absolutely do this in the oven or in a slow cooker, but I wanna show you how you can cook a whole chicken in your pressure cooker because it's such a game changer. It makes everything so much faster and it's super delicious. You're also gonna want one of these little trivety things that goes in the bottom of your pressure cooker, and you're gonna need a chicken for this recipe. These are raised locally here in Rossland, which is amazing because anytime you can source anything local, not only is it gonna taste better, but it's so much better for the environment, which is a huge win. To start off with, we are gonna make an amazing quick spice rub to really infuse this chicken with some flavor. So let's go. For this spice rub, we are going to use 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of onion powder, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we're gonna add some freshly cracked pepper to it. And I'm just gonna stir it up. Okay, so we're also gonna need about a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, half a lemon or half an onion, depending on your preference. They're both delicious. About 1 or 2 bay leaves, and I like to use half a teaspoon of turmeric and 2 cups of water. For this, you want to fill it so that the water is just touching the trivet. Okay, now we're gonna add our beautiful chicken right into the pressure cooker. If your trivet has these little arm things, you are super lucky. You want them to be standing up, and you're gonna put your chicken right in there. It's a little bit awkward, but it's totally worth it. It's fine, let's do this. Then you gotta wash your hands for like the 800th time. It's fine. Okay, listen. At this point, you can absolutely rub the chicken all over with the spices and the olive oil, but I am legit too lazy, so I'm gonna show you how I do it. And just don't judge me, okay? I'm not a chef. I'm just doing it my way. Let's do this. First, we're gonna drizzle our olive oil all over it. Then we're gonna sprinkle it generously with our spice rub. Then I'm gonna pop a lemon in there. I'm gonna drop my bay leaves in. And my turmeric. Okay, so now we're gonna wash our hands again, and then we're gonna get this thing going. All right, let's get this started. You wanna lock the lid tight and make sure that your valve is turned to pressurized. And we are gonna cook this on pressure on high for about 30 minutes. So for a 4 to 5 pound chicken, you wanna cook it for about 25 to 30 minutes, plus the natural pressurized release. So it takes about 60 minutes in total, I would say. Now, if your chicken is bigger than that, it might not fit in your pressure cooker, but if it does, that's great. What you wanna do is you wanna tack on 5 minutes per extra pound. What is also amazing is you can cook this from frozen. You just wanna reference your owner's manual or your pressure cooker manual to make sure that you get the time right. All right, ready? So, the reason why you want to trivet with the handly bits is because from this point you can just carefully pick up your whole chicken and put it in a dish. You want to make sure that the dish is big enough and has sides that it's going to capture any juices that leak out, which there's gonna be some. Now, with the leftover juice that's in here, the stock or the broth, we're gonna put it in a jar once it's all cooled down a tiny bit. Look at how pretty it is. I mean, that is a beautiful broth. All right, let's make soup. Okay, so once your chicken is cool enough to handle, we're gonna shred all the meat off the entire bird, which isn't the best time. But what happens is you take that one chicken and you can spread it out over many meals, which is fantastic. So let's do it. Okay, once we have that all shredded, we are gonna get ready to make some soup, and it's so good. But first, I'm gonna wash my hands. Making this soup couldn't be easier, so let's get into it. But stick around all the way to the end because I'll show you some really quick, simple ways that you can make it kid-friendly or kind of even diversify the flavors. Let's do it. Okay, so to start off with, you need a good sized pot, a good amount of extra virgin olive oil, 3 or 4 carrots. I love carrots, so I'm going with 4. 3 stalks of celery. We also are going to use about a half of a medium size cauliflower, which I'm going to show you how to make cauliflower rice with, which is the best in soup. We're going to use a few cloves of garlic, about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, maybe about a teaspoon of fresh thyme, a little bit of lemon juice to bring the flavors out, and a whole onion. Then of course we have our incredible broth, which will probably end up adding some water as well, and our chicken. All right, we're gonna start off by chopping our vegetables. I'm gonna start with the onion and go from there. So I'm probably gonna get a little bit emotional while I cut these onions. Just bear with me. That I'm done with these emotional onions, I'm gonna heat up my pot, add the olive oil, and saute these onions up, making space to chop the rest of the vegetables. Let's go. We will heat the pot up over medium heat and then add the olive oil. let those gently soften up, we're gonna prep all the rest of the vegetables. We're gonna start by peeling the carrots. Okay, I think the onions are ready, so let's have a quick look and then we'll add all of these amazing veggies to the pot. Okay, I'm gonna add the thyme, a good handful of chicken, and our beautiful broth, which I might have to top up with a little bit of water. And while that all simmers together, I'm going to prep the cauliflower and turn it into cauliflower rice. I'm saving the parsley for the end because I want to add in that really bright, vibrant green, and it has a fairly delicate flavor. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to make cauliflower rice, which isn't my favorite, but it is fantastic in soup, and it couldn't be easier. But you do need a food processor and about half a head of cauliflower. And all you're gonna do is break it up and blend it up. Let's go. Okay, now we're just gonna pulse it until it turns into like rice. That's it, come see. Okay, so the soup has been kind of souping together and it's ready now for the cauliflower rice. This doesn't take long to cook, so let's add it in now. Just before the soup is getting close to being done, I like to add about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. Turns out it's more like half a cup, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna add it right now. Okay, so to make this a hit with the children, I'm gonna cook some of these kind of like instant ramen style noodles. So I'm just gonna fill up a pot with some water. They take almost no time to cook. And then you can just add them to individual bowls or put them in a thermos and ladle some soup over top, and it's such a hit. Okay, so I'm gonna add these to the water. They're gonna take like 3 minutes to cook. And then I'm gonna show you a few variations of this soup and kind of different ways that you can serve it. So it's the same pot of soup, but it feels like something new every time you have it. Let's do it. Okay, the noodles are done. So let's take those off the stove, strain them, and then make some soup bowls. Okay, I'm gonna grab the soup and we're gonna finish it off, and then let's spoon it out, and I'll show you a couple of different options. So because I didn't add any salt while I was cooking, I like to hit it with just a little bit of lemon juice. That kind of brings out the flavors. And then if you want to add salt to the serving, that's your choice, all right? So we're just gonna put in just a little squish, and it's gonna go everywhere. And stir it up. So first I'm gonna show you how to make kind of one of my kids' favorite ways to have this soup, by just grabbing a bowl and taking a serving of noodles, making a mess yourself, and then just ladling some soup over top, making sure you get lots of broth. And that is a really fun way because kids generally love noodles, and makes it recognizable, and they're gonna enjoy it. Now I wanna show you how I make a little bit of kind of like a cheater miso soup. Just so you know, you don't have to add anything for this to be delicious. It's already good. This is just to elevate it. So, you take a serving, make a mess, and then you add about, I would say, a tablespoon of miso. Now, it'll start to melt in there, but it's fun to kind of serve it like this, and then people can kind of stir it in. And the last one is one of my favorites. I'm gonna ladle some out. I think I might need a new ladle. This one's crazy. And this is Thai curry sauce. This is a red version. It's also amazing with green chili sauce, curry sauce. This one you'll want to do just to taste. So I'm going to do about a teaspoon. And then it's just the same thing. You stir it in. It's also amazing if you add maybe like a tablespoon or two of coconut milk. The other option is to put in some pesto, and that makes it kind of have an Italian flavor. What is amazing about this soup is you can use whatever seasonal vegetables are happening. So in the springtime, things like peas and asparagus, and in the wintertime, adding in more of those root vegetables, or just as is. So I'm gonna go for this one. I'm just gonna stir it in. I like this because it makes the same thing. Tastes different every time. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you're feeling inspired to make this soup and all the many different ways that you can kind of spin it. It's incredible for your microbiome and for supporting really good gut health. So give it a try. See you next time. We'll heat our pot, no, what?